Imagine becoming one of the biggest streamers on the planet, traveling across the world, meeting football legends, standing beside Cristiano Ronaldo himself, and building an audience of hundreds of millions of people. Now here's the crazy part. None of this was part of Darren Watkins Jr.'s original plan. Before the world knew him as IShowSpeed, he was just another teenager streaming from his bedroom in Cincinnati, Ohio. No expensive setup, no famous friends, no sponsors, just a kid with a dream and almost nobody watching. What happened next would completely change his life forever. Back in 2019, Speed wasn't famous at all. He spent hours streaming games like NBA 2K, Fortnite, and horror games. Sometimes only a few people watched. Sometimes almost nobody showed up. But unlike most creators, Speed never pretended to be someone else. He screamed, he laughed, he raged. His reactions were completely unpredictable. People either loved him or thought he was crazy. There was no middle ground. Still, growing on YouTube wasn't easy. Thousands of gaming creators were already competing for attention, and Speed was just another name trying to survive. For months, nothing special happened. No viral clip, no worldwide fame, no millions of subscribers. If you had asked anyone back then, nobody would have predicted that this teenager would one day become one of the biggest internet personalities on earth. But then, one simple obsession changed everything. Not gaming, not YouTube, not streaming, football, and one player in particular, Cristiano Ronaldo. Most fans admire Cristiano Ronaldo. Some even call him the greatest footballer ever. But Speed took that admiration to another level, and nobody expected what happened next. Nobody knows the exact moment it started, but once Cristiano Ronaldo entered Speed's world, there was no turning back. First, it was just another football player he admired, but very quickly, that admiration became an obsession. Every stream had something related to Ronaldo. If someone typed "Messi is better" in the chat, Speed completely lost his mind. He would start shouting, arguing, sometimes even ending the stream in pure frustration. And that's exactly what people loved, because unlike most creators, Speed wasn't acting. His reactions felt completely real. Whether he was celebrating Ronaldo's goals, watching Manchester United matches, or screaming "Sue" at the top of his lungs, millions of people couldn't stop watching. Soon, the internet started clipping those moments. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, his reactions were everywhere. Even people who had never watched a single football match started recognizing Speed as the Ronaldo guy. But here's the interesting part. Those viral clips weren't making Speed famous only among streamers. They were introducing him to an entirely different audience, football fans. And there are billions of football fans around the world. Without even realizing it, Speed had found the biggest audience on the internet. And this was only the beginning, because very soon, football would take Speed somewhere he had never imagined possible. First, people laughed at Speed. They called him the crazy Ronaldo fan. Nobody imagined that this obsession would completely change his career. As football clips of Speed spread across TikTok and YouTube, his subscriber count exploded. Millions of football fans started following him, not because he was the best gamer, but because his passion for football felt real. Soon, every football event became a huge moment for Speed. Whenever Ronaldo scored, millions rushed to watch Speed's reaction. Whenever Ronaldo lost, people waited to see how Speed would respond. His reactions became almost as entertaining as the matches themselves. For the first time, football wasn't just part of his content anymore. Football had become his brand. Then came the biggest stage in world football, the FIFA World Cup. Speed traveled across the world, met thousands of fans, created content with football creators, visited stadiums, and suddenly, he wasn't just streaming football. He had become part of football culture itself. Everywhere he went, people shouted one word, "Suu." Children, adults, even football players knew exactly who he was. But despite all it became one of the most emotional moments of his entire career. For years, there was only one person Speed wanted to meet. Not another YouTuber, not a Hollywood celebrity, not even the biggest streamers in the world. His dream was always the same: Cristiano Ronaldo. Every live stream, every reaction, every football event, it all brought him one step closer to that moment. Fans constantly asked, what would happen if Speed actually met Ronaldo? Most people believed it would never happen. But then, the impossible became reality. During one of football's biggest events, Speed finally came face to face with his childhood hero. For a few seconds, the loudest streamer on the internet couldn't even find the word. Instead of screaming, he smiled. The same person who spent years shouting "Suu" in front of a camera was now standing beside the man who inspired it all. The meeting instantly went viral. Millions of people watched the clips. News channels covered it. Football pages posted it everywhere. For Speed, it wasn't just another collaboration. It was proof that dreams can actually come true. But something unexpected happened after that meet of football itself. But fame also brought a new problem. problem. The more famous Speed became, the more controversies followed him, and some of them nearly destroyed everything he had built. Becoming famous sounds like a dream, but for Speed, it also became one of the biggest challenges of his life. The more people watched him, the more every single mistake spread across the internet. One clip, one wrong decision, and millions of people were talking about it. Speed's live streams became unpredictable. Sometimes he would create unforgettable moments, and other times, his emotions would completely take over. There were times when his streams got him into serious trouble. He faced bans, public criticism, and endless headlines across social media. Many people believed his career was over, but something strange happened. Every time people thought Speed had disappeared, he came back even bigger. Instead of hiding from the internet, he kept creating content, he kept streaming, he kept entertaining millions, and football was always there. Whether he was reacting to Ronaldo, watching Champions League matches, playing charity football games, or meeting football stars, his connection with football never disappeared. In fact, football became the one thing that always brought his audience back together. It didn't matter if people supported Messi or Ronaldo, everyone wanted to see one thing: Speed's reaction, and that's exactly what made him different from every other creator. He wasn't pretending to be a football expert. He wasn't trying to act like a professional analyst. He was simply a fan whose passion was so real that millions of people connected with it. But then, something even bigger happened. Speed stopped being just a football fan. Ronaldo lost. You could actually see the disappointment on his face. That honesty made people connect with him. Even fans who supported Messi still watched Speed, not because they agreed with him, but because his reactions were impossible to ignore. Soon, football clubs themselves started recognizing his influence. Players knew his name, commentators mentioned him, even people who had never watched a live stream knew exactly who IShowSpeed was. His obsession with football had turned into something much bigger, a global brand. But here's the biggest question of all: would Speed still be one of the biggest creators in the world if football had never entered his life? The answer might surprise you. By now, there's no doubt that football completely changed Speed's career. But here's the real question: did Cristiano Ronaldo actually make IShowSpeed famous? The answer is both yes and no. Here's why. Cristiano Ronaldo gave Speed something priceless: a direction. Instead of creating random gaming content, Speed found a passion that millions of people around the world already shared: football. And every time Ronaldo made headlines, people wanted to know one thing: how will Speed react? Those reaction videos exploded across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Millions of people discovered Speed because of Ronaldo. But discovering someone and staying with them are two completely different things. People didn't subscribe just because Speed loved Ronaldo. They subscribed because he was funny, unpredictable, loud, and completely different from every other creator. His personality kept people watching. Ronaldo opened the door, but Speed's own energy made millions stay. If another creator copied everything Speed did today, would they become as famous? Probably not, because what made Speed special wasn't just football, it was being himself. Cristiano Ronaldo inspired him, but Speed built the career, and that's the difference most people never understand. But after everything he achieved, one question still remains: what's next for IShowSpeed? Can he stay relevant even after football's biggest moments are over? Or is his journey only just beginning? Today, IShowSpeed Football. He also helped football reach a new generation of fans, and that's something very few creators have ever achieved. But perhaps the biggest lesson from Speed's journey isn't about YouTube, or football, or even Cristiano Ronaldo. It's about finding something you're genuinely passionate about. Because when Speed talked about football, he wasn't acting, he wasn't reading a script, he was simply being himself, and millions of people connected with that authenticity. So, did Cristiano Ronaldo change IShowSpeed's life? Absolutely, but Ronaldo only inspired the dream. It was Speed's hard work, his consistency, his personality, and his willingness to entertain millions every single day that turned that dream into reality. The journey is far from over, and one thing is certain: as long as football exists, IShowSpeed will always be part of its story.